Welcome back for the second episode of the Skateboard Ranch, where you can follow me as I set out to build the ultimate campground, homestead, skate park DIY paradise. So, before I go ahead with today's subject, I would just like to take a minute to thank everybody that liked the video, subscribed to the channel, left comments, sent me messages. Like, seriously, the feedback from that first video was really heartwarming. It's one thing to believe in your ideas and be confident, but it's really nice to have the validation of some of your peers and just confirming that I'm not crazy and that I'm on the right path. As I'm recording this, I'm about 10 days away from taking possession of the house. And since the transaction has been approved, I've been trying to figure out like all the stuff I'm going to need to be able to work on the land and do everything I want to do. And early on, I figured out that one of the major things I'm going to need is a tractor. When me and my friend Phil went to see the tractor for the first time, like I had no clue how I was going to bring the tractor home if I decided to buy it. So after putting a deposit on it, I started to look around to get quotes for like heavy machinery or farm equipment transportation. Like the quotes I received were ranging from $1,000 to $1,300 to get the tractor up to Namining, which is about 500 kilometers from where I was buying the tractor. As I was trying to figure out the best option, my girlfriend received a call from her insurance company. She had been in a small accident a few weeks back, and like they were just calling her to tell her that they weren't going to fix the car. They were just going to send a check for the value of the car. So that was leaving us with only one vehicle before moving up north. That wasn't making any sense, like for where we were going to live. So I was planning to get a pickup truck eventually to help me on the land, but I realized that instead of looking for a second car, let's just step right up to the pickup and go get the tractor at the same time. So that's how I ended up one morning driving towards Montmagny, about 300 kilometers from my home, on my way to pick up my first tractor. Everything happened so fast. By the time I found the pickup truck and the date when I had to go pick up the tractor, it only gave me a few days to do my homework and figure out like the size and weight of the tractor, find a suitable trailer to tow it, like get some chains and tie downs to secure the tractor to the trailer, and basically found out everything that has to do with towing in general. There's a lot more to know than one might think, and especially when you're about to tow 3 tons in the back of your truck, you're thinking twice about like security and stuff like that. As I was getting everything ready, I realized that I was missing 2 safety pins on the back leg of the trailer. Like the day before, I also realized I was missing another pin. So I had to MacGyver this fucking thing that was holding one of the ramps, and it almost slid down like on my way back home after I picked up the trailer. I was really lucky that nothing happened. It would have been bad if one of those legs would have hit the ground while I was rolling or something like that. And it kind of pushed my stress a little higher because the rental guys were telling me, oh yeah, the trailer is fine, no problem. Like everything's good. And then you find out you're missing 3 pins. So it's like, man, is there anything else wrong with that trailer? Well, I didn't have too much time to think about that because I immediately heard the diesel engine in the distance coming closer and closer. It was about to be the moment of truth and see if that tractor was going to fit on the trailer. So after assessing the situation with the seller, we decided to turn the tractor around and load it in reverse to better distribute the weight around the axle. That's one thing that I've learned, like watching YouTube videos about towing. You got to put at least 60% of the weight in front of the axle and the rest in the back. If you put too much weight in the back, you can end up with a swinging trailer and it can drag you in the ditch without you even knowing what happened. It was a real tight squeeze, but the tractor fitted on the trailer. I was stoked. After fiddling around a bit, going back and forth, like putting the snowblower just right on the edge of the trailer, we were about like to close the bucket on the forks and be able to close the ramp. The tractor was fitting on that damn trailer. We then proceeded to tie down the tractor with the chains and the tie downs, and I was about to be ready to be on my way to Montreal with about 3 tons of load on the back of my truck. Before getting on the highway, I decided to take a little side road to be able to test the electric brake and just to see if everything was holding on properly and that nothing was moving before, driving 100 kilometers an hour. So before the next highway entrance, I stopped at a gas station, checked the load again, made sure nothing had moved and everything was fine. And that's when I realized that it was almost 1 o'clock. And like at first I wanted to go get the tractor and bring it home in one day, just do everything by myself. But I quickly realized that that wasn't going to be possible. Like by the time I was about to reach Montreal, like I would be stuck in traffic and I would end up in the dark in Naminang, and that wasn't a good idea. So I called the rental company, asked them for an extra day, and also called my buddy Phil to help me like unload the damn thing the next day. After those few calls, my stress level went down a bit, and I was free to take on the highway without having to rush myself to make it all the way to Naminang. So I took it easy, even was stuck in traffic for a while, but I managed to make it to Montreal. I even was able to find a parking spot right in front of my apartment. And I have to say I was really proud about that parallel parking with the tractor. The next morning we set out early. It was a beautiful day. I picked up Phil in Laval and we were on our way up north. As we're driving, everything was fine, like not too much traffic. And then this happened. Wow. Like honestly, we were so lucky on that one. Like I still don't understand how we made it through without hitting anybody. Like let's watch it again together. I was driving maybe 95 kilometers per hour. Like I was in no rush and I was taking my time. As that black SUV pulled in front of me, I saw a cop on the side of the road, like waving a flare. And as soon as my eyes came back to the road, I could only see that black SUV braking in front of me. So I hit the brake too, but the only thing I could feel was all that weight in the back, like pushing us forward, that there was no way we're going to stop. So I released the brake, swerved left, and made it through between that red car and that black SUV. And then I couldn't believe we weren't touching anything. And then that white car passed on the side too. I was like, man, how the hell didn't we touch anything? Like, I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it. I've watched that footage like so many times trying to figure out what happened. And I still can't believe that I made it through without a scratch. So right after that, we took the next exit. Like, took the time to reassess, made sure everything was okay with the trailer. Took the time to calm down a bit from the adrenaline rush. And then we took the road again, like being more careful than ever. Thankfully, the rest of the trip was uneventful. We even took a little detour to avoid some steep hills, and except from a deer crossing the road in front of us, we were able to make it to our final destination without any further problems. But we weren't out of the woods yet. First, we had to start up that tractor, and then take it off the trailer and dig ourselves a hole to be able to park it out of the way of the actual owner of the house. Oh yeah. Bon, let's try it out. Clutch it up. Ça c'est au fond. T'es pas loin. So we tried to fire the engine a few times, but quickly realized that it wasn't going to work. After being dragged in the cold for more than 500 kilometers, like the old diesel engine wouldn't fire at all. So we set out to find an extension cord to plug it in a few hours and see if it would start. But instead, we found a can of ether. So after looking up on Google how you can fire up an engine with ether, we just tried it. And it worked. So at that point we only had to release the tractor from its chains and take it off the trailer, which would prove a lot more easier said than done. Like I drove a few pieces of machinery in the past, but like every operator will tell you, every machine is different. I even did my homework and ordered my owner's manual and read it through to be sure that I knew what I was doing. But still, I was going to learn how to drive it on top of the trailer. I didn't realize the day before when we loaded up the trailer that the tractor was a little offset and the back left wheel was hitting on the fender of the trailer. So that was leaving me in a pretty precarious situation, with one wheel on the edge, not being used to the machine, on a trailer just big enough to hold the tractor, and as I was going back and forth to try to realign myself, like the whole trailer was doing like a teeter-totter effect. And just to show you how things can escalate quickly, I just did one wrong move and the whole thing started rolling backwards. I was really lucky to be able to jump on the brake just in time. Like, that was another close call for the day. So I got out of the tractor and we took a few minutes to reassess the situation and see what the best course of action would be, and I was ready to give it another go. And that one was going to be the one. So I started going forward slowly, trying to align the wheels with the ramp that were just wide enough for the tractor. On the spur of the moment, I had not realized that I was only stepping on one of the two brake pedals, blocking only the left wheel. So as I tried to stop coming down the trailer, I could see one wheel blocked and the other one going down, so I just released everything and went for it. Finally, after so many emotions, the tractor was finally off the trailer. Like, the toughest of the whole process was done. Now we could chill for a few minutes and I could finally learn to drive the tractor without the fear of falling off the trailer. I was so stoked to finally be able to try and drive the tractor for the first time. The actual owner of the house asked me if I could break down the snowbank on the side of his driveway so that he could see better when it was coming out with his car. So I took my first bucket of snow right on the side of the street and it was so much fun. So as I was getting used to the tractor and taking those first few buckets of snow, Phil took a picture that really made me realize I'm actually doing this. The past few days had been pretty stressful, but I'm so stoked that everything came together in the end. So the last thing I had to do was dig myself a hole to be able to park the tractor, so it'd be there waiting for me when I finally get the house. After wrapping the tractor in a tarp, me and Phil took a few minutes to walk on the land before heading back to Montreal. Like, so far, I've never seen the land without snow. I just can't wait to see the actual terrain and be able to better assess like where I'm gonna build stuff and really see the possibilities. So stay tuned for the next episode where I'll be actually taking possession of the house and I'll take you guys on the first tour of the skateboard ranch. And that's all for today's video. Again, thanks for watching. If you like what you've seen, don't be shy and hit that like button. If you would like to follow the evolution of the skateboard ranch, you can subscribe to the channel, and you can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram. The links are in the description or on my channel page. So I'll see you soon for more adventure at the skateboard ranch.
Ouais, l'autre lac. L'autre lac, je suis pas sûr qu'il va être bien. Le problème, c'est que le soleil est de même.